It's me. I'm Erica, and it is just about 6 o'clock. I'm pretty sure you can hear me. Yep. And we are Artists Till Death. We go live every weekday. Sorry about all the ruckus. I'm trying to figure out how to do my mic so it doesn't something. Okay. Every day at 6 p.m.-ish. Except for on Tuesdays, it is at 2 p.m.-ish Central. And today, I'm going to do a tumbler. So I was given these. They're just tumblers. This isn't sponsored. My friend JB gave these to me. They're nothing special. They're just wine tumblers. But you have to prep your tumblers really well, because if you don't, your resin will delaminate or come off of the whole thing of it. So you really want to make sure that you prep it proper. What's up, everybody? And not everybody's into tumblers, which is cool. It's not going to be a long video. But let's get started. So this is the blue that's in the thumbnail. My friend JB, she works for Sotheby's. She's a realtor. And this is the color blue of her stuff. So anyways, so the first thing I'm going to do is sand it down. Ooh, that pretty blue comes off really easily. No wonder why they say machine wash only. Nope, hand wash only. That machine wash only doesn't make sense. So I'm using a 220 grit sandpaper. And what I'm doing is just scuffing it enough to create a tooth so that my resin can have a bond too. I'm not putting that much elbow grease into it. I'm just scuffing it up just a little bit. It's the same thing you would have to do for countertop, or if you were to be doing a couple layers of resin, you really want to sand in between each layer so that you have that bonding ability. Because if it's too smooth, then the resin will have nothing to grab onto, and the risk of it delaminating is super high. So, check, got that done. And now, everybody stop worrying about the cobalt blue. We are over the cobalt blue. It will be gone in a minute. Unless you want me to leave it translucent and let this blue color show through. Would you guys prefer that? Because we could do that. Wow. Oh, and so I'm using acetone to get off any grease that may come from the company, wherever it was made, or any kind of handling could have gotten some kind of grease on it. And I want to wipe off any of the dust and all of this. Anyways, so now that that's done, check and check. Laura Taylor, what's up? Do you guys see this beautiful gift that's out of focus that Laura Taylor sent me? It goes really nicely with my dime. Love it. I love it. I love it. And so, let's get going with this. I was thinking about using this new color that I just got in. I just got a shipment in from Color Obsession, and the colors are amazing. This color, if it's going to come into focus. But he has a doctor appointment tomorrow. I think he has a cold. Anyways, if you can hear him, my apologies. Jeff is over there taking care of him. It's not going to focus because it's too sparkly, but it's Blue Lake Shimmer from Color Obsession. I was going to use one of these or this new one. It is a purple with a bluish interference. It is called Plum Violet Shimmer. It's not going to focus because that's my life. Anyways, these are two of many new colors that I got into stock. Hey, Kim. You could use acetone. I mean, Bowie. Hey, come here. Come lay down. Come on, Bubba. Let's come in here. You don't need to be around any acetone. Come lay down. You could use 90 or higher proof alcohol. You could. I just wanted to use acetone to be extra thorough and come here. You're a good boy. Just lay right here in your fan, okay? Lay down. Sorry about that. Children first, am I right? So, yes. Yes, you can. Use alcohol instead. So, the next step is going to be to tape your rim, because whether you think that resin is, harmful one way or the other, I like to be like better safe than sorry. So I'm going to tape up the rim. So what I'm going to do is come a little bit up from where the blue stops. And that's going to be the lip. So just barely a little bit. And that, I don't know, in my world, in my head, I feel like that helps bond everything. If it comes a little bit over this blue, like it bonds it to the actual sterling or whatever it is. And that, it could do absolutely nothing to let it come up a little bit. But in case it does, I'm going to roll with it. I don't know why he's so bad today. But every time I take Bowie to the vet with that cough, they assure me that it's not the same that Cujo had and that it's just bronchial infection or encapsulate. That's a word. That's a word that I was looking for. I know, it is so bad today. I'm a poor little guy. But we're going to take him to the vet in the morning, and he will be amazing. And so then I just take this tail. I make sure to go over this bit, where we started, and I just kind of fold that in so that it's easier for me to grab and peel off later. Laura Taylor! How did you knew it? Ooh, that was a fun little fade off to help with Bowie's vet visit. Poor little guy. Oh, thank you so much. This is going to be a quick one so I can go tend to my little fella. You make my heart so happy, Laura. Thank you so much. So much. Like, I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, yeah. You're amazing, and we love you. All you guys, thank you so much for watching and being here. You are all amazing. So yeah, okay. So I folded this part. You got me all flustered, Laura. I'm going to peel it out just a little bit to get it onto my this. Because if I left it all the way, then it would catch. And you can also put this together before you start. You can put your cup on the foam before doing anything else. So you guys said that you wanted to be able to see some of the cobalt through it. I did sand off enough to where there's some silver scuffs in the surface a little bit. And so I'm going to kind of try to sand and scuff in a way that it's kind of like a sweeping movement, so it kind of makes sense. So it's random, but it's not fully random. It's kind of sweeping. So it looks like feathered a little bit. goodness, my poor little man. Actually, I just gave him some medicine right before the live started, so I apologize to anybody that may be saddened, I guess, by my little guy's cough, which I know it's hard to listen to, but anyways. Well, it's like any cold, it tends to come out of the blue. So I'm wiping any of the stuff off. Sanding dust, it's not sawdust, that's stupid. Any of the stuff that's on it, I wanted to wipe it off. So yes, okay. Thank you, Vamp, for being my words. All right, so since we want to be able to see some of that beautiful cobalt color through, I am going to just mix some glitter and not have it be fully opaque. You should only need about an ounce of epoxy. Yeah, it does sound like kennel cough for sure. But he hasn't, well, I guess he has been a couple places. Been to the pet park. But because he gets like bronchial infections so often, his vet prescribed to him like cough tabs, which I gave him one like on my way to push record. Anyways, so because we want to be able to see the blue through, I'm going to just use some of this Color Passion Disco Color Change glitter. It is pink from one side, but purple from another, and it also has some blue in there. So it changes color, but it's hard to really show on camera because the light source is the camera. So yeah, you only should need about an ounce. This is more than an ounce of resin. And I'm just gonna mix, oh my goodness, how beautiful is that glitter? I'm just gonna mix in a little bit at a time so that we can build up the thickness of the glitter if we want to. I wish I had something else here that I could put this leftover resin on. I guess I could make just a solid glittery coaster. Ooh, so nice. So you can see by how it kind of splits in parts on the stir stick that it's going to leave a lot of like peekaboo room for being able to see this cobalt color. You want your house to look like the blue color or the glitter, Vamp? Okay, so a lot of people will apply their resin with like a spatula, but I feel like that's just getting something dirty that isn't necessary. I don't know if that makes sense. The less utensils I need to use to complete a piece, the better, because I feel like I'm not wasting anything and I don't have to clean anything. So because those reasons, I don't use a spatula. I tend to just put my fingers in it and get, okay, never mind. I almost said put my fingers in and get sticky, but Jeff did, huh? It's dark outside somewhere. Anyways, I prefer to use my fingers as opposed to a spatula. Definitely do you when it comes to how you apply your resin. All we do is tell you how we apply resin. And that's what I can tell you. So I can see a little bit of the scuffs through it. I'm going to let you guys see it up close. And you can tell me if I should mix a little bit more glitter in this and make a more opaque glitter look, or if I should just let it live. So let me get you down here a little bit closer, give a little look-see. Jeff just gave Bowie a treat and he has calmed down a little bit. Okay, so you can see like up here a lot, the scuffs through it, and right here. So what do you think? Just let it be a texture under it or add more glitter? Also to note, how beautiful is that? It's bananas. I love it so much. This glitter is so sparkly, like just for no reason. and it's chameleon, and it's got purple in it. So it's basically just magic on a tumbler. Laura Taylor, I don't know why you gotta throw the M word at me. You know. Ugh. Well, of course, more glitter. Add a few drops of alcohol ink. So if I were to add a colorant, I would add a, oh, that was more than just a little bit more glitter, but I'm not mad. If I were to add a color to it, I would add a tint rather than an alcohol ink, because alcohol inks will fade when put in resin over time. So yeah, I mean, you can use it, but I just don't want to risk it fading. But then again, I probably wouldn't even notice it that much because the background is so dark. Maybe we'll do that because I'm about to put too much resin on this piece. But that's how it looks now. That's the opacity of our glitter. Opacity, opacity. Words are hard. Okay, so when I apply I'm only using this stir stick to apply right now because I took my other glove off to do camera things. When you apply, just make sure you come up where the tape is. Got it overlap just a little bit. And then you bring it, sweep it all the way down over your base. I like to do the foot of the cup as well, but that is like a preference for a lot of people. It's a do you, it doesn't really matter either way. Ultimately, for me, it's easier to just coat the bottom than deal with taping it off and making sure things are happening down there like they're supposed to be. It's just so much easier to just coat it like the rest of it, in my opinion. All right, so we got a solid coating. Let me make sure. I also like to kind of sweep or brush everything down, although this probably doesn't really do much because the cup is spinning. I feel like it kind of lays down any of the bigger particles of glitter because you don't want them to be textured. We're gonna have to flood it anyways, so it's not a huge deal, but it just makes for an easier time if all of your particles are laid down consistently. Well, you can still see the blue through it. I know this because I can still see some of the scuffs. So now I'm hitting what is this? A tumbler with some heat. In this case, I'm using fire, but you can use a heat gun. You don't want to use too much heat because the thinner your resin is, the hotter your resin is or warmer your resin is, the thinner it is. And so the more heat you add, the more risk it is of running off of your piece, and you don't want that because you put it on there. Why would you want it to run off? So an easy trick to keep up with where you've already hit it with heat is to just use the tail that you started out with and then just heat it until that tail comes back around. And don't neglect your foot, the butt, the edges. So it is recommended just on the tumbler itself in general to hand wash. And so I would probably just recommend that for when it's coated in resin as well, I think. Totally up to you. You can buy blank tumblers, and if it's a stainless steel tumbler, you still would need to scuff it and wipe it off with alcohol or an acetone, and then what is the other one? Sublimation. If it's been sublimationed. Nope. Sublimationed. Okay. so I can't words, but if it is sublimation, the cup, which means it's got like a coating on it already, I would even more make sure that you scuff everything. Like hand sand it to make sure that there's a tooth, because the sublimation finish, it tends to delaminate more than otherwise. So, all right, Suzanne, I won't let it fall into the resin. I wear my favorite jewelries. Well, I try to. I don't have all of my favorite jewelry on because it would be excessive. But anyways, right in the middle of getting kids ready for school oh, you are not talking to me. Okay, so have you ever worked on the coasters, maybe with inks? Sublimation coasters? What kind of modeling clay would you recommend for use on a tumbler? So Emma, are you talking about sublimation coated coasters? And JJ, why are you putting modeling clay on a tumbler? I mean, I guess the Sculpey is a modeling clay, right? Or is that, I don't know. The clay that I usually use is like for ceramics, like has to be fired in a kiln. I have been using a plasticine for making kind of like mold shapes, but that is the opposite of what you should use for, for a 3D effect. Yeah, use Sculpey clay. You can get it on Amazon for anyone that is interested. There's also this like foam clay that a lot of cosplayers use that I'm thinking about getting to just experiment with making textured shapes. Have you used a microwave kiln? Mandy, I haven't. I haven't used a microwave kiln. I'll have to look that up because I'm always interested in trying new things, so I'll have to look that up. So, hi Carol, how are you? Oh, you have the foam clay? How do you like working with it? So, a couple notes about doing a tumbler. You want to make sure that wherever you have it, it is level, like with all resin things, because if your tumbler is leaning too far to the forward, you know what I mean, too far one way or the other. So if it's leaning this way, you're going to get kind of a bulb of resin where your tape is. And if you have it tilted downward over here, downward over here, then you're going to get a bulb of resin down here, which is not fun. Then you have to sand it off, and if you care, then you have to sand it off and then do a flood coat. So mind that. And then for when you want to take the tape off, I would recommend, see this roadside situation over here? When you can put your gloved finger into your resin and stretch an inch and a half without it breaking, then I would say that your tape is ready to pull. And so then I would put just a little bit of heat where the tape is and make sure that your tumbler turner is spinning in the proper direction. So since my tape will be coming off this way, it is spinning in the right direction. So I can just hold on to that tape, let it spin, and it would take the tape off. I also recommend pulling the tape towards your resin piece. So I would pull it this way in order to prevent any strings of resin going up onto the silver part. And if that happens anyways, just take an alcohol rag and just run it along the rim of your cup to wipe it off. Almost all tumbler turners will be able to reverse most of the times you just have to turn it off and turn it back on, and it will go in the other direction. This would be in the wrong direction for me to pull the tape, so you just stop it for a second and turn it back on. It'll spin in the opposite direction. So, what can I answer for anybody? Oh yeah. In the meantime, don't forget we have our Pour With Us class coming up the end of this month. Our kits are live on the website now, and I am shipping them now. If you haven't gotten your kit yet, don't stress. I wanted to ship them all at one time so I could like assembly line ship them, and that is being done as we speak. So order your that. I have 2 in-person classes coming up in May and March. It would be May 13th and March 18th. If you want to take an in-person class, we're doing oceans and geodes. How long do you let it spin? So I'll pull the tape when I can stretch about an inch, stretch the resin about an inch. So I'll just put my gloved finger in this little bit of resin that came off of this piece. And once I can stretch it like this far without it breaking, I will pull the tape, and then I will continue to let it spin overnight for me because it's 6:15 right now. So I'll just stop it in the morning. You can, if you do it in the morning, then I would wait like 6 hours maybe. But that depends on what kind of resin you're using, what the cure time is, and what your ambient temperature is. Because if it is warmer outside, it will cure quicker. And if it's colder outside, it's going to take a little bit longer to cure. So just keep those things in mind. Bowie, just breathe, okay? Hey, let's come sit with your dad so I can finish answering these questions, okay? Let's come sit with your dad. Right there. So, have you resined on terracotta or something similar? It seems like a tumbler spinner would allow for doing interesting things on planters. Mandy, it's a great idea, and I feel like terracotta is thin enough, is porous enough to accept the resin without doing too much prep. But if you want to be sure, I would use a bonding primer and then let the bonding primer off gas for, depending on the bonding primer, 24 hours. Some bonding primers are less. But let it off gas so that you don't end up with premature ambering. The Pour With Us class is February 24th. Jenny, I use this color Passion Disco Color Change Glitter. It is beautiful. I love it. I wish you guys could see it in person because it's way hotter than it is on camera. I mean, it still looks good on camera. Is Bowie okay? Yeah, he either has kennel cough or bronchial infection, which he gets a couple times a year. He gets a cold and it gets an infection. I don't sell the turners, but I have them linked down in the description box below this video. You'll find my Amazon link, and every time you order from Amazon using my link to get to Amazon, it really helps us because they give us like a 3% kickback or something like that. So it's free for you guys to use our link, but it helps the channel get funded. So yeah. Any other questions? I super love this glitter. Like, I want to have a reason to wear it on my face. Like, I would plan going to a fest. I want to go to Coachella just so that I could wear this glitter to it. So, if there's no other questions, if I didn't get to your question, just comment down below this video. Hide this when I come over. I will try to remember. You may have to remind me to hide it before you come over because I'll forget. And you always remind me of everything. Does the kickback work on things even not from your storefront? Yeah, so I don't sell on Amazon. I just have like a storefront that links all of the things that I use on the channel that we don't have in our shop. You could take my link to Amazon for a tumbler turner and end up buying a riding lawnmower, and I would still get the commission because you use my link to get to Amazon. And so that super helps a lot. Which resin? This piece I used Stone Coat's Art Coat, but soon I will have the UV resistant quick coat, which is like a 2-hour cure time. Cannot wait to do that because that will make tumbler process so much quicker. And so I'll be using that once I get it in. Anyways, it's so nice to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and seeing what we're doing today. Laura Taylor, you're the real MVP because now I don't have to worry too much about getting Bowie's lungs checked out tomorrow. That really helps. Every time you guys click on one of our videos and watch our channel, it super helps. So thank you for coming in and seeing what we're doing today. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We art every day on the channel, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you're interested in this glitter, it is the Color Passion Disco Color Change Glitter. You can get it on my website, artisttilldeath.com. I have everything linked down in the description box for you guys. The 2-hour UV resistant is Illuminite, but Illuminite is owned by the parent brand Polytech, which also owns Stone Coat. So it's not officially Stone Coat, but it's yes. So yes, yes-ish, mostly yes. So yeah, if you would be so kind as to share a video or tell people where you get your colors from when you buy from us, that will help us super much. I will update you guys tomorrow on how Bowie's feeling. My poor little guy is taking a nap right next to me. I'll show you. Oh, sorry. I know he's sleeping because I can see his little back foot kicked out right here. Boop. So, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for everything, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central for another live. No idea what I'm going to do, but tune in so that we can art together. To be kind to one another, because you never know what someone's going through.
Always remember, we do the test.
So you don't have to. Ew. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I said bye. And Bowie said bye. You say bye, my tired Bobo? I know it. Bowie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you being precious? Are you my big boy? Okay. Bye, y'all. Bowie said bye.